What's up, man? What's going on, man? Welcome to Boastful, man. We back, man. This Big P. Got my man,
It's,
Mel.
it's Nail, man.
Tavo.
Let's
Hey,
get
man.
it.
What's going on, fellas? It's good to see y'all.
Good to see you
Yeah,
too, man. Good to be
good to see
back.
y'all too, man.
Yeah, man. So today, man, we're gonna talk about breaking generational curses, man. Got a
Yeah.
couple of topics for y'all, man. And sound might be pretty good, man.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's
do it.
do it,
So
man.
we're gonna jump right into it, man. What you guys think about financial instability in the black culture? Like, what you guys say about that? You think that's something that can be changed, or how does it change? Like, how do you go about changing financial instability in the black community?
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be changed because certain black people don't know how to like use them like I want to say fix their money, like had it put it in good spots so where y'all family is in good positions to do stuff with your money. Because I grew up in a house with my mom. She really didn't teach me on financial stuff. So growing up, I just when I got a good amount of money, I didn't know how to really distribute it or how to use it, where to put it at. So I definitely think parents should teach at a young age on how to use your money and where to put your money at.
Well, I kind of think you misinterpret that. Like, we got to get to that point. We got to get to where you even have money to even get the stability in the sense. Like, what can we do to help navigate our kids to get these better jobs, these better educations, and different things like that, to where they're making decent money on their 9 to 5, to where they can, be able to save, take care of their household that they're taking care of, and you know, do other things too, like jump into different types of ethnicities or whatever.
Well, first, I feel like it starts with teaching them different career paths, like at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
So, say they're in high school, and you know how you can take different classes to get probably college courses and stuff like that. You can you can teach them early on like what they need to go into, like, oh, see if they like this, see if they like this, but also let them know their salaries, like how much you're gonna make on this job, what's your benefits, or where, and once you get this money, you can put it here, you can invest here and stuff like that. So I feel like financial stability is something that should be taught early on,
But
you know.
how do we? I hate to interrupt, but how do we
Mhm.
get there if they don't know? It start with the parents. So
Ooh,
what can we do to, in a sense, start there and then go to the kids? That's what I'm
okay,
asking.
okay, I feel you.
Like,
Well, I feel like,
what can we do to get things in the community, to get people to see different things
well, that
versus
means
what we already know?
I feel like that means, like, if the parent doesn't already know, well, that means they gotta kind of branch off and do their own thing. Like, learn, like, you gotta research and learn more. Like, if you're to that point where you don't know much about like financial stability in general, and you don't know like how to invest and stuff like that, you have to research. You have to find out, like, these there's websites where they can teach you how to invest, like, learning about like stocks and stuff like that, and then they also have to learn about these other careers that they haven't learned about, so they can teach their kid, like, oh, this, like, say a doctor makes this much, or IT, in the IT field you'll make this much if you're doing certain things like cybersecurity, or like you have your degree in business intelligence and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know about those things, like.
But I feel like you're still missing what I'm asking. So let me let me talk on it a little bit. So
That.
my thing is, you guys are young, right?
Hmm.
Y'all some
Yeah.
young bucks. Y'all out here, y'all trying to get it.
Right.
You don't think it's a good idea for you guys to be proactive in the sense and go back to schools that you guys went to,
Definitely.
and try to offer things, or teach these kids different things, or either do something on your own to where you're not charging for these kids to come in there and
Hmm.
learn about different things. What do you think about just doing things like that, and even offering things for like the older people, the older working class, like after their work hours, like you give them some things to do, like come out in these communities and come out to this event, and y'all have different people talking about different things. I think those things are
Definitely.
what I'm trying to say will be better to help out the people that's in poverty, because if you
Okay.
don't know, you can't get mad at somebody for not knowing something. In a
Yeah,
sense.
definitely.
So
Okay.
if I don't know how I'm gonna teach my child something, if I don't know, if
Right.
I just know, hey, I'm going whatever I'm doing. If I'm a janitor, I'm going to clean these. I'm going to clean these thrones and this and that. And I call them thrones, but they're toilets.
Right.
I'm going to clean these toilets or what's not, and get this money, get to this money, so I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
And that's Monday. That's Monday through however long they have to do it, whether they're working 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, whatever, to make the ends meet.
Okay.
If you're not being accustomed to these things, then how are you going to change it? That's my thing. How do you change these things in these different communities?
Ooh. Okay. I feel you.
You get it?
That was
Yeah.
totally different. Like I didn't know you was going that way with that question. Okay.
Well, you
For
can't
sure.
get financial stability if if you're not there. Like
Right.
paycheck to paycheck is not no type of stability in a
Right.
sense.
I agree.
It's making it work, but it's not
Right.
stability.
Yeah, I agree. Cause I be living paycheck to paycheck. Cause I just be spending, spending, spending. So
Right.
Bad
yeah,
habits.
yeah, very bad habit. So I'm trying to break that habit. So
I feel like personally, like it's like I like what you said about the paycheck to paycheck thing because it's hard to live off that. Like a lot of people say you can save, you can do this and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you still got to live. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like I feel like that's not enough to like live off of. You're gonna make ends meet like because you have to, but are you really? What are you building off of? You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So I mean, with that being said, so I know you guys high class or was not, and y'all like to live this life.
we
I
not
mean,
high class,
if so,
but
I'm low class.
is it a smart decision when it come down to like getting a place to stay or what's not? Do you feel like, oh, I'm gonna stay here just because I'm comfortable, versus I'm gonna stay here because I can afford this, whether this being back in poverty or what's not? What do you think about that?
Man, shoot, moving out ain't for the week at all because like it costs a lot of money, and I'm by myself, so paying a large sum of money to live by yourself. You should you get somebody to go in with you because living by yourself, I pay a lot, and it is hard because I moved out of my house thinking it's gonna be sweet, and it wasn't.
But what if you don't have that? That's not the question. The
Oh, not a
question
question.
is it smart
No, it's not smart.
to stay somewhere you feel comfortable versus somewhere where you're uncomfortable?
I would say comfortable, especially
But
from
if you can't
pockets
afford it,
wise. Oh, you can't afford it. I was
I
spending.
mean, you can afford it, but you paycheck to paycheck. Is that a smart decision?
Nah, I think you should wait till you get enough money
So
to.
now you see where that financial instability come in there.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, I feel
Just
you.
making decisions like that. I mean, it's not about if you're comfortable. It's about what I can afford
Right.
and be comfortable.
Okay.
I feel like you gotta be comfortable for a little minute. Like, I mean, you gotta be uncomfortable for a little minute. Like, I feel like a lot of people focus on what I like, and like they put this standard up that they can't even like live up to at that time. You know what I mean? And it's
Okay.
like, okay, let me live over here so I could stack my bread, and then I could go over here. You know what I mean? Like you gotta hit one step before you get to the next. You feel me? Like you have to have something to build on. Like say, oh, I move out, boom, I'm gonna go live somewhere cheaper, even if it's not as nice. So I could put some money up, I can invest, and then I can also do this, so I can go live comfortably. You know what I mean? And then I have more money when I get over there because I didn't put up money, I didn't invest it, and my money grew. You know what I mean? So
So
that's
you
what
think when you make decisions like that, like having a plan in play is important, or you just kind of wing it?
hell no, you
I
gotta
mean,
have a
I think it
plan.
depends on the person because some people they rush into things not with a foolproof plan and then they go broke or they don't have enough money to do what they were trying to do in the first place. So it's definitely a good idea to go into if you're moving out to have a plan on where you're gonna live at and the
Hmm.
price of it. So if it's cheap, I feel like you should go with that because it's like you want to save money, you want to have money put aside for bad times. So it's like you should want to have a foolproof plan on going out.
Okay. So what do you guys think about trauma and mental health challenges in the black community? Where do you think those things stem from? Where you like what is mental health? Do anyone of y'all know what that is?
Definitely. So
Mental
mental
health
health,
issues. Like
mental health. I
what do
feel
you think
like
that is?
uh, it's looked over a lot mental health is like it builds off of things that you go through daily. Like you could be going through something and you wouldn't even tell nobody about it. That messes with your mental. Like your mental health affects how you interact with people on a day-to-day basis based off of like, and it also affects how you do things, how you move, like I feel like mental health comes with when you're drained, like when you're tired of doing like the same thing like over and over and over again. It messes with your mental, like, and it stems from so much. It's kind of like hard to explain, but that's go ahead.
So you don't think that stems from being um, pointed in the wrong direction, pushed to do certain things that you don't want to do, and
Definitely,
pressure
definitely, because
being
it's
applied to you?
it's
Those
like
different things. Like let's say for instance, like when a parent is putting a lot of pressure on their kid to make like certain grades, and
mhm.
it's not about putting that pressure on them to do that, is how it's being applied. Is it being applied in a way to where that kid gonna be able to excel in the future,
Right.
or is it gonna give that kid high anxiety?
Yeah.
What do you think about those things?
I feel like that does give you high anxiety. Like if you're being forced to do something, like if you're being pressured to do something, and it's like, say for instance, it's not something that you really want to do in a sense. Like you have no breathing room. You're not able to, move freely, and you're just being like pressed on. Oh, you got to make A's. Or you got to make A's. If you don't make A's, you're gonna be poorer. If you don't make A's, you're gonna do this. Or if you don't do this, you're gonna struggle through life or this and another. Like you're not teaching in the sense you're forcing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like teaching is telling this kid, okay, if I do this, if I make this grade, if I make an A, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna feel good. But if I make a B, it's not gonna be too bad. I can build off of that.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I can
right,
always
right,
do
right,
better.
right.
I can practice. I can study. You know what I'm saying? That's different from forcing a kid to
Give them
do
that
something.
confidence.
Yeah, that's you have to build confidence. Like, and I feel like if you're not giving that kid that confidence, now you're bringing that kid down. Now this kid is developing mental health issues because it's like, and they're getting anxiety because it's like, dang man, I didn't make an A. Oh,
Well, I don't
I'm
think
messed
nothing
up.
wrong with
Like,
bringing somebody down, and as long as you build them back up.
yeah, definitely, and I'm glad you said that because it's like they have to know the real at the end of the day. Like kids have to know the real, but once you give somebody the real, now bring them back up, pat them on the back, like, hey, you doing good. I don't want you to think you're doing terrible, but now it's time to improve. You know what I mean? Like that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That avoids mental health issues. You know what I mean? Like in a sense.
Do you think kids should be given more of a voice when it comes to certain things like that? As far as to like when they get to a certain point, of course,
Depends.
as to what they want to do, or how it should be done in a sense. What do you think about that, T?
Yeah, I feel like they should be given a voice because certain parents don't really give their children a voice. Like y'all would have been told to be quiet, shut up,
Mm.
speak when spoken to. So growing up, when you're getting told that, it's like you go into like a shell of not really talking up or speaking up. So that leads to them not having confidence in themselves of going out and really speaking up. They always quiet in the shell to themselves. So giving a voice to a child at a young age, like you can limit it, but like give them a little bit leeway to like express themselves and what they want to do and how they want to grow up to be something. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah. I feel like it's valuable just because if you don't give that kid that voice at that young age, and you constantly telling them to be quiet and this and that and other, when they get older, I feel like it's almost like working with a kid in the workplace in a sense. You know what I mean? Like the person always quiet and not saying much, and this and that and the other. You ask them something, they don't have no opinion on it. I just think that those things are um, things that need to be changed, especially in our culture, man. Because
Right.
like I get it, like sometimes you gotta get on the kid, but
Mm-hmm.
you need to teach these kids different things too. To, like teach them how to just interact with people. Like I don't feel like a lot of us teach our kids how to interact with people in a sense, and I mean, I can say it only because I was part of that problem too. You know, me being young and raising a kid, I didn't know these things like coming up. I mean, my parents ain't played that, man. You get to run in your mouth, man. You get bop right on in the mouth, man.
Right.
But it's like I said before, like parent only give you what they know in a sense. And
Right.
for them, that was discipline. But for me, in a sense, I think that brings about trauma. It brings about anxiety. It brings, you know, social problems and different things
Yeah,
like that too. You know,
Yeah.
because you're always thinking about, oh man, I shouldn't say this because it might get me in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're not able to voice yourself in a sense, and you don't learn that until you start going through those 20s and those 30s and this and that and the other, you
Right.
know, and then you learn how to get out here and network with people. But by that time, you're 40, 50 years old,
yeah.
Hmm.
you know, so
And you said social problems. Do you think that brings like social awkwardness, like when a kid's not able to like speak for themselves or voice themselves, and like they're always told to be quiet or something like
yeah,
that?
definitely. If
Right.
if and especially to add on top of that, if your kid not out there and he or she not out there interacting
Hmm.
with the kids outside and different things like that, yeah, it brings about social issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think
And
I
you
can
see it all the time.
kind of speak on that because in high school I was like that the whole time. Like I was social. I had social like I couldn't really talk to people because I
Social
didn't know how to.
anxiety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to talk to people. How they would feel if I said this or that.
Exactly. That's
So
like.
I would be walking around just like shy to talk to anybody. So when I got into like football, that kind of like helped
Mhm.
me like talk to people and like interact with people. Cause
I feel like sports help though. Like when you like, I feel like when you playing football, like you get so comfortable, like because you like any in really any. I don't want to just say football, but it helped me though. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't. That's why I wasn't like scared to like talk to nobody and stuff like that because you so comfortable like playing sports and stuff, and you like not say what you want, but it's like the bonds you're able to build, it helps to build other bonds, you know what I mean? And you're not scared to go talk to this person or talk to that person because you've been doing it the whole time, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And you kind of just become your own person, you feel me? So that's like, I feel like those things help, like getting involved in certain things. So,
like
yeah.
certain different things.
But it got to be a balance too, because if not, like it takes you right back to what we was talking about last week. Like we do these things and then we fall in love with it, and it's our piece in a sense,
For real.
and then that's all we know.
That's
So
right.
I feel like you got to have that common balance. Like there's nothing wrong with playing sports, but also there's nothing wrong with being in beta, FFA,
Exactly.
4-H, 4-H club and different things like that. To us, yeah, that might seem like nerdy stuff, but at the same
Yeah,
time, you learn a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah, I think in a team environment, in any
Yeah.
environment, will
Right.
help you. Like it kind of like force you to talk to people
Yeah,
in a sense, because like you can't just be quiet the whole time, just to yourself. You
yeah.
gotta actually speak up and be vocal about things.
Yeah, I like
It's
that though. I like that y'all said that because it doesn't just have to be football or like sports
no,
in
it need to
general.
be more.
Clubs help like literally, and you learn more. I feel like you're gonna learn more like in clubs, like education wise, than you gonna learn in sports. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah, I was in FFA, and I mean that was some of the man. I had some of the best times with those guys. Man, they all was country. You know what I mean? And like we doing stuff I ain't never seen before. So and me, I was just doing it for the trips. I look at the paper to see how many trips we was taking. I was trying to get out of school. So I mean, I was there for the trips and the food. But when I actually got there, I mean, it was awesome, man. Like I didn't know none of this stuff was going on, man. And a lot of these guys that I
Fact,
was in it with, man, they all went on to go do that afterwards
facts,
for a career,
definitely.
you know.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's just you gotta make these things the new norm in a
yeah,
sense, you
definitely
know.
normalize it. Do you?
So this brings me to my next question. Um, do you think help in the black community have anything to do with mental health issues, like the way you eat and this and that and all that? Do you think that stuff
Yeah,
can
definitely.
mess you up there, or
Yeah, definitely. And it's a lot to say like
because
when
we
it
gonna eat
comes
them
to
pork
that.
rinds?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, we gonna eat them pork rinds,
They good, but you gotta put a limit on that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Cause
for
it's
sure.
like I
pork
feel
chop.
like food, like what you put in your body, definitely messes with your mental because it can certain things can make you lazy, certain things can change the way you
Right,
think,
right, right.
certain things can like just it can mess with your energy in general. Like say for instance, if I was to eat McDonald's like every day or like too much out the week or just fast food in general, it's it messes with you internally and like it has a lot to do with your like your brain and stuff like that. So what you like I feel like we really need to look at like labels and stuff and like really do research on what this stuff actually does to our body before
You can talk to
we
your mama, but that she always reading the label.
literally like and it helps though because it's teaching you different like what proteins has what type of proteins it has in it, all the bad things it has in it like your like cholesterol and stuff like that. It teaches you about all that, and I feel like we need to do a lot more research on the food that we're eating because it messes with your mental health because it just makes you sluggish sometimes when you eat,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I'm not in a sense just talking about the fast food. Like I'm
hmm
talking about the old school country
I, f-
folks. Like
I feel like
how
it's
they man. You got that rice.
yeah.
You might have some potatoes and them greens.
Yeah, but you can't eat that
You
stuff
got some
all the
pork
time.
chop,
I don't know. You can't.
fried.
Nah. And then
You
fried
got
foods
some
is
neck
bad too.
bone.
Like
Do
it's
you
good.
do
Don't get
you
me
think
wrong. It's
do you think
good.
it's healthy? Like I don't have a problem with eating home cooked meals, but it's
hmm
what you eating.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think about these country meals that's being prepared 7 days out the week, twice on Sunday?
I just don't think they're healthy to be honest, bro. Like I don't think they're healthy, and I think it really clouds your mental. Like honestly, because you get so used to it. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a
Uh,
norm. Like, and then you're not able to tap into these other healthier foods that are actually good for your body. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so used to eating this, you don't want to touch that at all.
hmm
And then
Like me.
and that's when that's when you gotta go to doctors. You gotta go get checkups and stuff like that because you don't know what's going on. And then you get educated on it because the doctor telling you, oh, this is terrible. Like your eating habits are actually bad. And then now you're clueless and now you want to revert back to like oh the healthier eating and stuff like that and then you actually have to do research on it but they don't really know what it's doing to your body and also like other countries their foods are way healthier than ours though, you
hmm
know, like their foods are like actually not necessarily healthier, they it's just
They portioned it out.
yeah they portion it out and it's like they're just like really good for your body and they're not sluggish after they eat like they can go to their McDonald's and eat and it's way healthier than ours and we don't even know that, a lot of people don't even know that.
So, what are some things you think that can be done to change this? Like to go in it. So, if you had to go into these communities, right?
Gotta let it be
And
known.
what would you do to change that? How would you go out there and voice something, you know, in the community to change that in a sense, if you had to?
uh
Would you go out? Would you offer like some classes? Would you
I mean, I'll
like
go
go
out
to
there
these
and
local churches
throw
and
like a little event, like for like healthy food, different options on what to
that's
eat besides just eating the same thing you eat every day, which is the food, like you said, the food like the greens, neck bones, and all that.
uh-huh.
Like I would like go out, throw a little event, put some healthy options out there, and tell them how it would benefit them in their body, and them and how it would help you be more productive in life. Just going out eating healthy, eating this type of food, and it's gonna keep you energized, not too full, not too bloated.
yeah.
And that's basically what
It's gonna be a hard task. So like one event ain't gonna do it. So
I mean, it'd be
like
like
you
an
have to
annual
push it.
thing.
Like how would you really push it? Like would you start offering some things for like the older folks that, cause some older people, man, like they got their routes, man. Like, they going to the corner store on Monday, getting all the stuff that they need, and they're not coming back out the house. They're not driving everywhere. They nieces and nephews probably live on the other side of town. So how do you tackle that as a whole? To like
Shoot.
deal with these older people and also like these people that's like 30 and 40 some years old that's setting their ways already, so they're not about to change nothing. Like, they ain't trying to hear nothing you saying. They're gonna eat these neck bones. How do you
Man,
get into these people's mind to change their mind so they can help out this younger generation coming up, like these kids, and give them those different options? Like, how do you go about doing that to just change their mindset on that after they've been like that for so long?
I think about consistency, like going out every each. I don't say each day, but like a certain amount of days, like keep going out, keep trying to, cause you ain't gonna do it but in like one day, so you can just keep going out and keep going out, keep going out, and be consistent with it, and
Hmm.
show them that you're really trying to help them and not trying to like force them to do something that they don't want to do. So it's like going out, giving them options every day. Like for the older people, we can deliver to them so they don't have to come out their house to do to go to a store or something, or
Now you
call their
talking.
nephew.
Now you talking.
yeah,
So yeah, I feel like you should drive to them. Like actually go there, talk to them, communicate with them, and show them and talk to them about it. Because some people don't like to go out and like actually communicate with the community and show them different things. So that's why I thought they stuck in their ways because nobody really out there trying to help them. Everybody doing it for like a profit or something. So
Yeah.
I feel like another way you could reach them is like connecting with the younger group first, and then showing the older people like results. Like say you actually reach that younger crowd, and then they see like, oh man, this is actually working. You know what I'm saying? You can probably show them like charts and stuff like that, because I feel like older people, they don't want to hear you talk. Like they don't they don't want to hear you
They
say
don't.
like, oh, this works, this works. They want to see the results. So like if
Yeah,
you
they
show them
tell you,
like,
but it's not gonna work.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just, I feel like results is what adults want to see. So if you show them like, hey, boom, maybe your kid has been trying this whoop whoop and it's been working. So boom, I feel like you should try this, and they actually might listen that way because they're gonna see the results of what you're actually doing. So probably do
Results and
that at the
facts.
events.
Results and facts.
Yeah.
So something else I wanted to jump on: divorce and family separation
Mm.
in the black community. Like, you think that causes some type of trauma and mental health towards those kids that's tied to that? Does it even affect the people that's going through the divorce and the separation and all that? And we just ignore it just because that's how we built?
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
what do you think?
I think for sure it affects everybody in that household that's in that household.
Yep.
In a sense,
Why you say that?
my mom and her ex husband, they went through a divorce,
Hmm.
and the after the divorce, like when he left the house, it was like the whole house was just so like negative vibes around, and it
Mm-hmm.
was affecting everybody. It eventually affected my mama's health. She was losing weight during the whole process,
Hmm.
and she was getting skinny. Like she was losing weight and she was looking skinny, and it's so depressing. And like when it took her a minute to like get back and shake back. But before that, it was like we was going through a lot. Like I got kicked out the house. Like I even cried on the way walking to it. I don't know where I was going, but I was calling people. So
Dude.
then the house wound up going to foreclosure. So it was like it definitely affects everybody in the house and what path they gonna go down next. Because I went through a lot. Like I went to different states, living with different family members. I can't really speak on what happened to my sisters and them, but I know it was like depressing. One day my sister came up to me in school, she was crying,
Mm.
Dude.
and so it was like a very hard time during that time. So
So did you guys take like any types of steps to heal as a unit, or did you get into healing on your own? Like, how did y'all deal with that?
I can speak on how I dealt with it. I just kept moving forward because I didn't want to be in that setting of negativity and depression. So
All right.
I knew I had to go out there and education so I can go look at different like job opportunities so I can get myself right. Because it was still depressing there. Like still to this day, it's kind of like that because my mom, she's like, and my sisters, they like to be around negativity, they like to be around depression a lot. They like to be around drama. So she's still going at it with her ex husband. So it's like I don't think she really ever found some healing. I know I did because I know I had to get from around that to just being around you guys. Like I got that like
So
sense of family, like how family should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
glad we could be that, man.
Facts.
So I don't mean to keep trying,
No, you
but
good, you good, you good.
so do you call it healing, or are you just dealing with it? Are you just
Coping.
exactly? Are you just coping with it?
Yeah.
Because like healing is a different thing because that means if you say you heal from something, you're in a happy place.
Right.
So do you say you're would you say you're in a happy place, or you just coping with it day to day because you know you got to do this, this, and this? Because I see that all the time. Like we do stuff and we mask it and we just move on, and we don't really deal with the trauma and the mental things that's going on. And all it takes is for one little thing to trigger it, and then you know you back to thinking about it, and now you gotta find another way to cope with it. So would you say you're healed, or you just coping with it? Because
Right.
I think I'm just coping with it, going day by day because I feel like I feel like I don't have enough time to try to heal, try to sit down and take a day for myself,
oh man,
and I feel like that's bad. Like for any, like for just us black people, like we just keep it holding in, and then it is wind up. I feel like one day I'm just gonna burst, like because it's like it's so much stuff built up within, like just in my household every day. So it's like,
so I'm glad you said that because these are the things I'm talking about. Like these are things that us as the black community we have to find some kind of way to deal with these things and don't mask it and just cope with it. We have to find ways to deal with it head on and get that out your system, like whatever it is, whether it's whether it's talking to somebody, like you going to see a therapist and getting that time, like you have to take that time for yourself to deal with those things because like this is problems that's in our community in a sense. Like we don't deal with these things head on. We just let it get bad, and then now you bring another kid into the world, and you passing that bad trait on to that kid because you're not healed yourself. You know, you get what I'm saying?
so how can we go about getting healed if like certain people in the black community don't really believe in going to a therapist or talking to somebody?
It's not about what people believe in. It's about what
You
what
believe.
you believe in. Like you have to deal with yourself. You know,
Okay.
I don't care if they say, "Oh man, you crazy? You gonna see a shrink?" Because that's what we call it, a shrink. It's nothing wrong with sitting down and having that conversation and talking about these things that hurt you in the past and getting it out your system, because you have to talk about these things and get it out your system to feel better about it.
Right.
You know, like anxiety, depression, all these things are really things that attack our community a lot, because you can look up the facts. The divorce rate is high, We got baby mamas running all over the place, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
broken homes. Like these things are a problem. Like if you have a mom that's raising a kid and that dad's not there, that's a broken home. I don't
Right.
care if he's there, you know, 3, 4 days out the week.
Yeah.
That kid's still not getting that love from the dad that they need.
Right.
There's gonna be trauma issues there. There's gonna be some type of depression, some type of anxiety. It might not come out until he get older, but it's there. The same thing with the mom. She's doing all this herself, being a mom and a dad 4 or 5 days out the week. Dude, there's gonna be some type of trauma there for that
Right.
for that female. You know, she's gonna break down, and that kid's gonna see it, and then the problem is just keep going on and on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like that builds like a lot of anger. That builds like a lot of problems in general. And I'm glad y'all touched on this to where it's like to where we're talking about the broken homes and things like that because divorce rates are high, like way more than normal. But we're normalizing it. People just hunch their shoulders at stuff like that. Like when it comes to anxiety, depression, any mental health issue, like people just toss it out the window like it's small. To be honest, but it affects you in your everyday life and it affects people around you as well. And I feel like that's why it's so normalized now because it's like people don't deal with these things and people don't see therapists as like high people in society to be honest, but like they're actually helping people. And I feel like we need to seek more help when it comes to these things
Mm-hmm.
so we can fix these problems within because you got to fix it yourself first to be honest. Like I feel like going to see a therapist that would help like a lot and then you can start to break that chain and pass that on to people around you and I feel like that's how those things get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's my take on it to be honest. But I feel like it's a huge problem and I feel like the rates are way higher than normal and yeah, it needs to be fixed though. But I feel like that's where we need to start, like seeking therapy, seeking like real help, rather than going to talk to your neighbor about it or like your friends about it because that's not gonna help too much, because you're not actually digging deep where you need to go. You're not really touching those spots that you need to touch.
Okay.
So
You got anything else on that?
Yeah, it should
Like,
be. I feel like it should be more two-parent households to stop this trauma and
yes,
all this type of stuff that goes like mental health that goes in the black community. Because missing one parent, you might not get like let's say you missing like a dad, like not having a dad in the household. So your mom trying to be the dad and the mom.
mm-hmm.
She ain't gonna be able to teach you man things on how to be
All right,
a man because she's a woman. That's all she know to be is a woman.
right.
So she's not really teaching you how to be a man, how to go out and
do you think that's a bad thing for a woman when she have to play that two-part role in
Yes,
a house?
absolutely.
yeah, because in a sense, yeah, because that boy growing up not having a father, he probably ain't gonna have that confidence that he like
Mm-hmm.
instilled into him
All right.
from a man point of view, like getting man point of view of things in life. He only gonna get like the female point of view
Mm-hmm.
of everything. So it's like he gotta navigate through life just knowing one sided things from
Hmm.
a female parent instead of a male parent.
But you think that's a bad thing because we do have a lot of men in the world that's not in touch with that feminine side, you know, and it's just mainly all the time. And for me, I don't feel that a man can be all he can be if he's not in touch with that. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this, but
Nah,
I'm gonna get into this
I feel like that's real.
because how can I, as a man, be emotional with a female, whether that's my wife or my daughter, when she need me to be that guy, if I'm just being this all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's
Sure.
but growing in a house full of females can make you too soft in a sense, for me. I grew up. Cause you
You
gotta
don't
have
think that's
that.
a choice when you get to a certain age?
I mean, yeah, it's a choice, but like, but it's gonna affect you in the long run. Like, when you small and
Okay.
you just a bunch of females around you, just you too sensitive. You're not enough to be that man in the house. Try to be that like, cause it's like you want to have a man in the house to teach you how to do manly things, how to be manly. But having too many just females in there just make you you too feminine. Like it ain't. Some men be you don't want to be too feminine. Like you want to be manly a little bit. Like some men ain't
I,
manly enough. Some of them too feminine. So it's like,
I get it. I get it. I
You
get it.
like that?
I get what you're saying. But I mean, I don't know.
I just
I never went through it, so I can't say it. You went through it,
yeah, that's
so
what
I
I'm
can't say it. But I just kind of feel like that's something you can get out of.
you can if you have like the right teachers in a sense. Like, cause growing up, it was like a lot of not to put my business out there, but we do with a lot of different daddies. Like, we got three different daddies in my household. Me and my two sisters and my little brother. So we all got different daddies. So it's like no daddy was in the house. So it was like no man was there to teach me how to like be a man in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just had different men come in and out. They really want to teach. They would teach me a little bit, but they weren't really teaching me enough.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like growing up with a house full of females just make you soft. It don't make you. You gotta be a little hard. You can't just be too soft. So it's like having different men come in and out of my life, just it wasn't helpful. So
So how did you like? Quick question. So like, how did you like build off of that? How did you become the man you are? Like, I want to say like without that figure like in your life. Like, how did you cope with that? Like, what are like things you learned in order to be the man that you are? You know what I'm saying?
I learned from my coaches, uh, pops right here,
Sorry.
like just different mentors in my life. Just like looking, seeing how they do things and how they go about things is what really helped me because I didn't have it in the household, so I had to look for it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I lived with my friend when I got kicked out and his dad, and I would basically look up to him and talk to him about things and how to go about things because I didn't know how to do it. So like being a man, I didn't know how to be a man, so I had to. I looked at him as a father figure too, in a sense. Like every man I came in contact with as a youngin, in high school, looked at him as a father figure, and I just saw how they do things and how they navigate through life. So that's
That's real.
basically how.
Did that
Okay.
make you feel some type of way? Like seeing your friends with their dads and you didn't really have yours there? Like, how did that affect you mentally?
I
And how you
mean,
dealt with it?
I just I just going day by day. It's like that's all like that's all I kept telling them, just go day by day, just seeing how other people do it, like how the other men do it, and just seeing
Mm-hmm.
how they do it, and just work off of that. Because my dad wasn't there, so I was like, I don't really fall through at the same time. Gotta know how my mom is, so it's like
Mm.
I see why it didn't work. So it's like, and since I can't fault them, but I can
I
fault them
mean,
from not being there.
do you really? Because my thing is, at the end of the day, for me, and I'm gonna get on this. Y'all might not like me after this, but I'm gonna get on this. I mean, I feel like it's a choice. When you go and go have a kid with somebody, you made that choice. So it don't matter about how that person is, how their ways are. I feel like the kid didn't ask to be here, so y'all got to work through it and fix it. That's a sense,
Right.
you know. And I think that's a problem with our culture. Like we like to have that 5 minute of fame. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But then we don't we don't want to take on that responsibility afterwards. Because for me, once you go ahead and do that, like whatever you have to do to make that work, you have to make that work for that kid, whether you're there or you're not there.
Right.
You know, when I say you're there or you're not there, meaning that you decide to go ahead on and pursue a relationship or whatever. If you're doing this out of wedlock, you know, you have to some kind of way make that work to where it's a healthy balance. You know
Right.
what I mean? For that kid, in a sense.
yeah.
I mean, I don't promote it. Like if you're gonna do that, then hey, you go ahead and do what you gotta do with that woman.
Yeah.
But if you decide to not do that, if that's not gonna help you in a sense as far as for like your mental and you feel like you can't do that with this person, you have to have some type of balance with that woman to where that kid is okay.
That's true.
And that's something we have to start doing in our community because a lot of the time us as men we doing this and we making these kids and we not making sure that the kid is okay. You know,
Right.
we making sure that the woman is okay when it's convenient for us. You know, but the kid is just left at a struggle
Yeah.
and have these issues. And because you see it now, man, a lot of our young kids nowadays, man, have bad attitudes. You know,
Yeah,
What they call them? YNs?
yeah.
What they? I don't know what y'all call them. What y'all call
The
them?
YNs, that's what they
YN.
call it.
I mean, like when we just running around here and we just doing all kind of crazy things, and we see them, like they're looking at these social media things and all that. They want to do that, and they're not really focused like they're
Yeah,
supposed to because they don't have that stability.
right.
You know,
I honestly, I don't agree with broken homes at all. To be honest, I agree with what you said a lot. Like, make it work because at the end of the day, you chose to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now that's your
5
responsibility.
minutes of fame.
Yeah, literally. Like, and don't have kids with women that you know you don't want to be with. Like, stop doing that. That's that's honestly like real immature, to be honest. But it's like once you have that kid is a part of you. So I don't understand how people can just walk away from a responsibility like that and don't just see it as a chore. That's your kid. That's a part of you.
Yeah,
That's a kid is a blessing at the end of the day. So you
have
need
fun
to,
with it.
yeah, literally, you need to do what you got to do to handle your business, like literally. And I'm I harp on it because it's like it's really unacceptable, and you're always gonna have that in the back of your mind, like, oh, I have a kid out here. How do you not want to know what this kid is doing or how they're doing? You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I don't understand
but
that.
if that man has multiple kids,
Yeah,
like, how do he
yeah,
help every last kid and try to give every last kid the attention that they need?
But man, that's a problem, man. You out here, man. You got multiple kids, man. You out here and you just wilding, man. You sticking in
bro,
like
that's crazy,
that's what we not trying to promote.
right?
Yeah, but my dad got 8 kids, so it's like,
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
yeah,
You
that's what I'm
gotta,
saying. Yeah, so it's like, how can he give attention to every kid if he got too many kids?
I mean,
I,
dude, that's a decision he made, so that's something he have to figure out
right.
how to do it. I don't care if he getting these kids, 3, 4 days out the week. Like when you go and go do that, you have to make that work because guess what? You
Mhm.
did that.
And at the end of the day,
You
like
know?
as men, I feel like that's a role that we play. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you got to
That's
take it
our role. You
serious.
have to take care of your kid. Like if
Yeah.
you don't do nothing, take care of your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, as men, like we are looked at as providers at the end of the day. And I hate when people just talk about money is taking care of kids. That's not taking care of your kid. Like spending time with your kid, giving them these teachings that they
Time
need.
over money, man.
Yeah, it's time over money all day, to be honest, because like you know the phrase time is money. Literally, you can put that metaphor in there. Like time is money. Like literally. And I know a lot of kids that don't like that. They don't like when their parents just buy them stuff and say, "Oh, I took care of you." No, that's not taking care of your kid. Taking care of your kid is spending time with them. Those precious moments are things that they need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those, they're
Memories.
gonna remember that more than these gifts that you bought them. Because gifts can be replaced, time can be replaced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think the gifts run out when that kid start to get a little older.
yeah, definitely.
Like they looking for that that time. Like they wanna hang out. Like y'all be, man. Dad, when we going to the coffee shop?
Oh God.
Like y'all want that time because it's something you can't get back. You know, so
Like literally, like I'm 22 going to 23. I still want to hang out with my
and
pops.
still
You
be
know what I'm
riding to
saying?
the coffee
Like,
shop, man.
bro.
and I mean
Like,
I love it. Because like
literally.
some kids they get to that age they don't even want to be bothered with their parents. Like they can't even
Nah.
sit in the same room with them for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't.
you know.
Yeah, I can't stand my mama sometimes. But all she do is nag,
Oh
nag,
man,
nag,
you
nag.
can't say that on the air, man.
It's like
Sometimes you
these
want to just woosah, just have like a
like
peace moment.
Well,
Just like,
everybody, I mean, I feel she
yeah,
probably feel the
definitely.
same way about you, man.
Literally.
So I mean,
You
like
hate it but you love it at the same
yeah,
time.
you do,
yeah,
you do, you do.
For real. Like
Well,
that's real though.
I mean, that was good, man, and it gonna roll us right into next week, man. Next week we're gonna talk about the black family structure. So, I mean, it was a good one, fellas.
Definitely.
I'm gonna have Nell or Tivo shout us out, tell them where they can catch this at, where they can reach us at.
Man, go ahead, reach us at Boastful on everything. Man, let me spell it out for y'all. Let me spell it out for y'all. I don't want to spell it wrong. Got y'all. But look, it's on the IG. I'm still learning how to spell it. Just how y'all learning how to spell it, man.
Oh, man.
Chill. It's BHOSTFUHL. On Instagram, TikTok, everything, man. Go reach us. And on YouTube. The full video is out right now. So make sure y'all go watch that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time.
Deuce.
Peace.